Why hello there, fellow Hellions. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Sintopia. Episode 3, Optimizing Punishment of Souls. Alright, up on the surface, taking a look at our ruler. Our ruler is a soldier and doctor life path, meaning that they should be pretty capable of conquering points of interest, which is good for us. And then let's see if there's, here's some freebies. So we gain 3,000 Perga dollars, and I'll put that to good work. Getting another Omnidoctor down below. And before I invest that, let's see if there's any other freebie chests sitting around. And all the other points of interest up here, I'll introduce them when they become relevant. I don't want to jump the gun because that would be needlessly confusing. Alright, that might have been the only chest. I don't see any others. I do see a ranger squad out there, but that's about it. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and get another Omnicin Doctor. And I'm actually going to nudge this already up one. I'll just redo the roads, trying to remove as much spaghetti as possible for your sake. And I'm going to put the other Omnicin Doctor here. So it goes like this, and like that. And then hire someone in the position. Hey, Nimiot, you're a simpleton. I don't know how that makes you feel. Scorpio, you have a chance to generate heroes going on break. Sure, why not? That's weird. That's different.
Absolutely, I'm ready.
And then let's go ahead and spend a little bit on a rest room. So I'm going to put a rest room here so it can cover the Hell Pet Show and the Omnicin Doctors. And then I'll put an imp road here to allow the person working in the show to get to the rest room more quickly. All right, taking a look, we have got a 58, an 85, and a 60. So all three are going to require treatment. And here's what's important. So the waiting booth operator here has a certain amount of work time until they go on break. They also have a speed. So her bonus is that she works faster. So normally these operation booths take 6 seconds to dispatch a soul. She only takes 5 because she has that trait. It can have a capacity of 48 souls total in the line because that's how large the line is. And this line, of course, shields corruption. So basically, when you're waiting in line, you do not get corrupted. Now, I could implement another line for the Hell Pet Show. But of course, hiring a person to work it is not free. So I would only really do that if corruption buildup waiting for the show becomes a critical issue. All right, surface. So one of the things I could do on the surface is to aid the ranger squad in conquering warg dens. So when I see them being dispatched, I will do just that. I will use my faith coin, which is the currency that is used to do spellcasting, to aid the rangers. So the rangers are being dispatched from here. There is currently 2 expeditions. None of them are currently fighting. But if I click on this, I can see where they're going. So we have rangers approaching this warg den. So I'm about to get an alert that they're going to enter a fight here against these wargs. And it will be a pop-up over here. So if you want to change what notifications you get, you can enable and disable alerts here. I'm going to keep them all on. I do find all of them pretty useful. And clicking the building, I can actually see where they're being dispatched to. So we have one group coming up to this power shrine, which I'll talk about that as soon as we claim it. And the other one going to the wargs. And there's the war horn for them rallying against the wargs. I wonder if any of them have your names. I don't think so yet. I think that happens when they respawn. Alright, back to hell. They're down to a 61. They'll have to go through a reloop. They're at 34. They'll be fine. And they're at 52 right now. It really depends on how much lower it gets. But that's why we measure twice. Upon entry and upon exit. Alright, we have some sloth. So there's another deviant, a sloth deviant over here. And because I don't have the capacity to deal with sloth or envy at the moment... Oh, there we go. Keeping them alive is... I'm not going to kill them, in other words, because I don't have a specialist.
Oh, the Hubus Rangers have tagged a power shrine and freed its energy. Administrator, feel free to collect and store these spells. They might come in handy. Once collected, they will take some time to regenerate.
Okay, so when the shrines are captured, you can click on them to gain a spell. And this is a zap spell. The zap spell, let me read this because it will make more sense. Cast a lightning bolt on the ground, which effect depends on the target aimed. Click on a live entity and inflict damage, which can bounce to nearby targets. Click on a dead Humu to bring it back to life after 3 hits. Hold and click to build up the spell and release the charge in the entities in the area, increasing their movement and action speed. So it does 3 things. It's a defibrillator, it's a speed boost, or it's an attack spell. So, are these rangers actually going against those wargs? Oh, here's another. So, let's open this thing up. And inside was 4 heroes. Nice. More currency. So that ranger squad is still contemplating coming down here, but if we wanted to use this spell... This warg is now half dead. Wargs are pretty tanky. Alright. So here we go. We've got Quinadonge Dumbele. Oh, and this is a really good example of fear. So Draco here has a cinometer of 38. And see how they're moving really fast? They're currently terrified because they're next to the lava. So they're moving at 150% speed, so they can speed along this this soul's path and resurrect without collecting too many sins. So here's Quinagond Doombelly, who's got a centimeter of 42 at the moment. And what I'm hoping is that my measurements are correct and they will make it here for heroes. So basically, I have to figure out what the average rate that they pick up sins on this path is and adjust for that accordingly. Because if I measure wrong, I won't get awarded heroes at the end of this. There's another one near the Wog Den. There's one right here. Whee! Splat. And 2 more heroes. So with our heroes, for the tutorial, they will tell us what they think I should upgrade. So if we take a look at the first page, the administration page, there's no recommended upgrades. On the technologies page, no recommended upgrades. On the punishments page, they recommend I get critical damnation. Gives a chance to punish twice as much sin when treating souls in punishment buildings. And the extra punishment yields $purgadollars. And that costs 5 for a 10% bonus. And there's 5 tiers of this. In the technologies, they suggest I get the Ooh La La Dreams Studio, which increases the number of hummus newcomers born at dawn. The reason it suggests this is because populating the overworld is a goal of mine, and that would help to boost the birth rate. But before I get that, I would need to get the Humanitarian Foundation. This building sends food and materials to the overworld to help them get by. So if they're struggling to provide for themselves or to expand, the Humanitarian Foundation would be helpful. This, of course, will cost 15 heroes, but I do have a limit of 120 now. And then in the last, no recommended. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to get the critical damnation for 1 point. In the campaign mode, technologies you unlock in the Libera Monstratum carry over from one mission to the next, as I already mentioned. And then, however, you are limited to spending a certain amount of heroes during each mission, which is this total here, 15 out of 120. Any that I spend will carry over, but only up to the limit, the hero's limit, if I did not reach it. Got it. So there we go. We got critical damnation tier 1. Well, Tyler, thank you for the gifted subs. All right, let's take a look to make sure our math is correct. So this guy is at 45, and I think he'll make it and become a hero. This guy's at 40, he'll definitely make it become a hero. Because I might need to adjust the value of 44 or less here, depending on whether they make it or not. Oh, here's another power shrine, ready. And we have a boulder. So this is a Rockalicious. Throws a solid rock which inflicts damage on impact to enemies and structures. Hold and release to throw it, and quicker motions increase the rock's speed. Alright, so they're making it out at 46. It's cutting it close, but it's fine. Because the heroes is what I care about the most. It's got to be 50 or less. So, boom, there's another hero. So what I want to do is I want to catch someone who's like right on the cusp. So this person, if they make it in time, is right on the cusp of 44. Nope, they're now 45. So what I'll try to do is I'm going to change this to 45 and see if they make it out to know if I have to adjust the rate or not. Does that mean I can only invest 120 heroes in each map? It increases. The max increases map to map. Oh, he went up to 46 just as he entered the measurement. So, like, let's say I spend every single hero I have right now. The next map, I will have 120 heroes spend, and then my max cap will go up to, I'm going to make up a number, like 240. So you're gaining steam. All your research and upgrades carry over, and then your max cap goes up per map. Because it gets harder over time. Okay, I would say it looks like the show is becoming a bit of a bottleneck. I also had my faith coins maxed out, so I might as well use some faith coins to soften up some targets. There we go. So if my show is becoming a bottleneck, let's go ahead and get another show. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to need another restroom, which is fine. I'll probably adjust the position of the restrooms. So let's have this fork like that. Double our throughput here. Oops. Come on, Souls Road. Oh, is this back? Yeah, this is backwards. Move. There we go. And higher. You. Reduce break time, that'll work for me. And if I want these souls to reset their positioning, I could just like delete the Souls Road and then they'll re-queue, which is a useful little tip. If you have changed your throughput designs, you could just be like, hey, redo it. Now, because we have just paid our tax for the day, I'm going to go ahead and get another restroom here. Plop it right here. And then this restroom can move around because it doesn't need to cover this one. So this restroom could move significantly if I wanted it to. All right, we have 3 deviants. 1 of greed, 1 of envy, 1 of sloth. They haven't entered yet. We don't have any deviants inside. And so far, basically nobody has passed muster where they get to skip everything. You failed at 49. That's probably correct. You're coming out at 45, but you'll probably pick up another sin before you enter the measurement. Yep, you're at 46 now, so you get reset. But they get to make it out. I'm better at aiming the boulders? Well, thanks. All right, let's get another Omniscient Doctor. I'm actually going to move this Omniscient Doctor over a little bit. And let's stick another one in. Yeah, that'll work. So what we're going to want to do is replace the Imp Road with a regular one. I don't like either of them. I like competent employees. I don't really care for the gain experience when in restrooms because you just end up at max level with fewer skills, and I don't have enough money to headhunt a new one, so I'm just gonna wait until I have a little bit more cash. Leave that empty for now. All right, the Rangers. Are you gonna go pick a fight with those wargs? Because I would love another treasure chest if you do. Yep, alright, they're fighting. Good, I have plenty of faith coins. Here, actually, let me throw the wargs towards your arrows. Here you go. Shoot them. So the rangers here, some are ranged only, and they get to shoot the wargs at distance. And once the wargs get close, I can throw them away. And while that fight continues, let's try to hire someone to deal with the backlog. So, fresh. Permanent motivation, Azaroon? Yeah, that'll work. Once I have the money. So some of the rangers might die, but you know, that's just money that we can bank if they do.
Let's see. Okay, you
All
can
right.
do this.
Capacity's gone up. And now there's only one left. Oh.
Administrator, here you can witness the Hummus military-industrial complex in full swing. Soldiers will guard their civilization against any threat and might even heed the call of rangers whenever they spot hostiles.
Oh my. Who's the muscle man?
I can be anything you want me to be, baby.
His file states, and I quote, Adam, experienced and highly trained killing machine, fearless, tender lover, 100% hero, cheese enjoyer. However, I'm not sure I can vouch for the accuracy of this information.
A hero? Pfft, all I see is a big lump of flaccid flesh.
All right. The Rangers won. Oh, and there's a new warband. But only like 2 were in the warband. I think the warband just ended because the wargling got killed. Alright, I should save up money to be able to pay wages because we're only at 1,000 out of the 3,500 we're going to need in the morning at dawn. So I'm going to hold off on spending anything more unless I get like a treasure chest or something like that. And then, Adam should be somewhere in the village. Yeah, there he is. So this dude is in a league of his own. He's like a super hummus. I'd still... Okay, you're at 33. I'd still like to catch one of these guys as they just meet threshold. But we're getting more heroes. I just don't know if 100% of them have been heroes or not. Oh, and 12 soldiers are going to war. Where are you headed to? You are likely headed to this warg den. Okay. So the Rangers were dispatched, found a warg den, and in this case, I think what ended up happening was they called the militia soldiers to help out. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, soldiers are being dispatched. So basically, the Rangers found wargs and called for the soldiers to join. When you do fighting and witness death, you do gain wrath. Basically, you gain, you know, you gain sins in your life just by existing. It's basically impossible to have a sin-free life, but soon these wargs are going to get attacked by a much larger force, which is good. All right, 25, 30, 36, 28. Yeah, all these people will be becoming resurrected and awarding heroes. Yeah, they're at only a 30. Alright, the queue has 12 in line. Once I pay the morning taxes, I'm going to try to invest in another Omnidoctor. Or Sin Doctor, I should say. To help with the capacity here. Alright, checking on the soldiers. They are... Yep, here they go. They're rallying. And now you'll see a concerted effort between soldiers and rangers. Hypothetically. Because this is a warband. I don't see any alpha wolves, so I'm not really going to help them. You know, if they die, whatever. The only one I really don't want dying is the greedy one, because I don't have a way to treat him effectively. But, like, if he dies, whatever, I'll deal with it. And then you can see the ones that died of sharp fangs, right? It records their deaths accurately. Oh, I did just get the zap bonus, but there's really no one to zap at the moment. And they cleared the warg den, and I got paid for it. And it gave me heroes. 4 heroes. Alright. With my 4 heroes, I'm going to have you guys polled what to unlock. Save it, in case I need like a greedologist or pridologist or something like that. We can also do critical damnation. To be able to earn a chance to earn bonus purgadollars and punish more sins. We can also unlock the Ooh La La Dream Studio. So, putting my 2 cents in a little bit, this specific campaign map wants me to populate the overworld. The Ooh La La Dream Studio really only does that, so it's not something, if we unlock that, it might not be helpful next map, or the map thereafter. That's the only thing I'm going to say. And then the last one is going to be my choice. If you want me to choose something that is not one of the options here. Let me see if there's any others. That I would consider. I could also do Punishers. So the Punishers is more payment when punishing souls, which is not bad to have. I'm also going to include first class tickets and spacious bus. So I'll talk about it a little bit. This is kind of spoiler, but first class tickets when you get to hell, I get paid when you arrive, and I get more money for that. And the spacious bus increases the bus's capacity. The bus's capacity right now is 5, and I have 5 souls in the cemetery. But when your hummus are dying in greater numbers, they'll have to wait in the cemetery for longer, which can be a problem. As you can see in the overlay here, souls waiting too long in the cemetery may propagate disease and eventually turn into zombies. So, not dealing with the backlog in your cemetery can also be an issue. So there you go, a whole bunch of options, and the poll is right there above my head. So feel free to vote on what you think is most important. I'll give you 2.5 minutes. And good job, soldiers and rangers, for clearing that den. Alright, we have paid the wages for the day. Let's go ahead and try to get another Omniscient Doctor. And... oh, God. So reduces wages, but increase break time as a slacker, or drama queen who might randomly strike. I'll wait to hire someone better. Thank you very much. Ooh. Why? I'll guess I'll hire Jocelyn as they give me faith coin when they're on break or something. I don't know. I don't want to have to keep refreshing. It's expensive. Oh, we just got a new spell. So you can switch through them with the arrow keys. And the newest one we just got is the Magmine. Throws volcanic rock, which explodes and spreads fire on impact. Single click summons the rock in place. Holding and releasing throws it. Longer throws make the rock reach higher power tiers, and if it does not hit an entity, character, or structure, it stabilizes into a landmine and is waiting to explode. Cool. I'll try to use that next time there's a fight, because it's fun. I'll refresh one more time. Ah, they're still bad. Okay, you will get pitchforked when you go on break, so I'll try to fork the hell out of you. But at this point, I should probably be saving up for the 4K wages I owe. And I'm still trying to find someone that just barely meets threshold to see if they become a hero or not. So it looks like you guys have to be my choice. I am going to spend it on Punishers. 3 ranks. So we gain extra Purga dollars. Because extra Purga dollars, you really can't go wrong. It's actually pretty easy if you don't know what you're doing in this game to end up in a situation where, like, you will go bankrupt and have to start over. Because the game mechanics, in order to be successful, aren't necessarily obvious at the start. Of course, if you're watching this, you'll, like, know to avoid the pitfalls, but yeah. So here's someone that's obviously going to have to get reset and back to the start. But we don't really have anyone waiting in the queue outside of the actual waiting line, which means, get forked, dude. Which means no one's building up, like, sins when they shouldn't be, which is good. Now, pretty soon, I suspect we're going to have to deal with one of the deviants, but that's okay. Oh, warband's going. 9. Mix of rangers and soldiers. And they're headed to here. So, let's see how my aim is. I only tipped the top. Let's blow the magmine. Get wrecked. Bonk. Sorry, Wolvies. So their layers collapsed. We just need to actually kill the wargs that are there. Some of them are already on fire or whatever. And hurt. Here. Go into the fire. Little BBQ. Okay. That should be a pretty soft target for the warband. And the reason I'm helping them so much is the goal of this scenario is to populate the overworld. So trying to keep my my dudes alive is ultimately the goal, which is why I'm intervening, you know, so much. It's also why I'm putting everyone through a Hell Pet show, so that I can, you know, get the most bang from a buck out of them. Speaking of which, I'm going to move this Hell Pet show down a little. So they can fit more in the long run. Oh, that's not the tool I meant to do. There we go. Oh, we're about to catch the dude that takes expensive breaks. Yes, the masochist. All right, here we go. Ready? Time to make money off of you. Oh, what's up? Get forked for profit, dude. Oh, we took the power shrine. Okay. I just absolutely rampaged these wargs for really no good reason. Got it. There's only one warg left. If I can just like, kill it on my own, I will clear the lair. Okay, that was a horrible shot. You have 5 HP left? Alright, just die already, please. Into the fire, dude. Oopsie poopsie. I killed a whole warg lair by myself. So, that should keep the warband a little safer for longer, I hope. $64, you're definitely getting it sent back to the start. $66, getting sent back to the start. $47, sent back. $42, maybe you make it through. I'm gonna watch Theophilia to see if they could become a hero or not. Oh, 48. I don't. You got him pretty close. 49, and banked. So here's Theophilia at 44, which is like the lowest threshold, and I'm curious if I need to change the numbers or not, so that she's useful to watch, because she's just on the threshold. Alright, I have 10 heroes now. What to unlock next? So she's at 48. I don't think she'll make it. I think I'll need to adjust the threshold. 49. 50. And she became a hero. But I'm going to move the numbers down to back to 44. Or maybe 43, just to play it safe, because I'm trying to get as many heroes as possible. And she was just, like, a little too close. So polls up again. 2.5 minutes to vote. And we do have our first big sinner. So, my choice would be to get someone that can treat sloth. Because we have a deviant here, chillin', who I could just wait in line forever, but that would not help me populate the overworld, of course. Because we need to send him back up to the surface for me to, like, win. Alright, look, I'm going to call this one early. We're going to go deal with the sloth. So here's how I want to do it. Let's go ahead and get a Souls Dispatcher. So basically, we already know that everyone that comes over here is a deviant, because rule A is if deviant of any type, go left. So the deviants then will enter the soul road here, and we'll create a rule set. If the deviant type is sloth, go to A. If the deviant type is envy, go to B. The deviant type is envy, go to B, else go to C. So now sloths are going to be here, envy is going to be here, and the other deviants left to be sorted will be here. So Durham Foulneck should be standing right there, if measured correctly. And it is. Perfect. So let's open this up. Slothologist. We'll get a Slothologist building. I'm going to put the Slothologist building close enough to the break rooms that they benefit from it. But just on the outer cusp. Because your specialists don't have to do a lot of work, so their break time is not a big deal. So there we go. That's about as far left as I can get it. Put a soul roller in. And then the plan is, and this is going to be a little messy, but the plan is basically as soon as they're done, we dump them back to the start. Because just because we made them not a deviant doesn't necessarily mean they're like sin-free or whatever. So we're just going to assume that they then need to get reassessed. All right, and the employee here. I don't really care about work time. And the reason for it is
Dear souls are
the people working these facilities have to work so infrequently because of the, oh, we're about to get another sloth deviant right here. But they work so infrequently that it's like not a big deal if they work slow. So having your losers, for lack of a better term, in your specialist buildings are like totally reasonable. You want high work efficiency from your Omnisyn doctors, but low work efficiency for the specialist is fine unless you have a crazy high ratio of deviants. I'm also going to choose one other thing for me to unlock, which is Zap. I'd like to be able to cast Zap as a universal spell. So now that I've unlocked Zap, I always have Zap, and I can use Faith Coins for Zap. Because Force Push is nice, but like, sometimes you just want to zap stuff. Should be employee path for the bathroom on the empty plot. I don't think it really matters for this guy because they work so infrequently, again, that it's not a big deal if they work inefficiently and have to take a long path to the imp bathroom or whatever. I could put it in like an imp road that goes like this, but ultimately your specialists aren't, the throughput of the specialists isn't all that important, in my opinion. Humus can be voided by various sources, meaning they are completely removed from the game, body and soul, falling off the edge of the world, reaching 100 sin, and turning into a zombie, facing sadist critical failure, or walking into an abducting pit in hell. So this is talking about how Humu might stop being a Humu. Come on! Give me that money. This is a shakedown. No washing your hands. Get back to work. There's no germs in hell. Germs did nothing wrong. And I'm just like cleaning up the paths here a little bit. There we go. So our two sloths got cured of sloth and then sent back into Gen Pop, for lack of a better term. The waiting line is 12. Actually, that's not so bad. Do they fall off the edge often? No, not normally. Not unless you push them. There's another spell that you can unlock, Hell Tunes, which is allows you to be kind of like a Pied Piper and like lead them off the edge of the world. But it's pretty rare for Humu to even be near the edge of the world in the first place.
Oh no, a Humu has reached sainthood. Unfortunately, that has a chance to happen when they get resurrected with a very low sinometer.
Ugh, dirty saints. I can't stand the sight of them. Everyone hates them. You can't punish them, they are resistant to administrative magic. Heaven Code doesn't even award a hero upon resurrection. What are we supposed to do with them, huh?
Maybe if we do a piss-poor job when handling them, they'll lose their holy patience and, in time, their sainthood.
So your advice is to be terrible at your job. At least that part shouldn't be too hard.
Okay. We had another one level up. You have permanent high motivation. Let's give you work speed. Thank you for tuning in to Sintopia, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming stream. If you'd like to join my online gaming community in Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow administrators.